What's going on? Jake here with Uncommon EDC. Today we're taking a look at another Rosecraft blade slip joint. Now I came to the realization last week that although I have a handful of Rosecraft slip joints, I think 6 at this point, I hadn't made a video on any of them at that point. So last week we knocked out the Riverbend Skinner. Today we're going to take a look at the Beaver Creek Barlow, and we'll continue working our way through slowly on that list, may even add another model or two before we get to the end. But once we have videos on all of those, I do plan on making a video ranking my favorite Rosecraft slip joints to my least favorite. Just seems like a fun exercise. I have a general idea of what that looks like right now, but as we deep dive into this list, into each of these models, making these videos, they may shuffle up or down a spot, and also as we add new models, that may kind of change the general order as well. So something to look forward to, but for now, let's take a look at today's knife, the Beaver Creek Barlow. Incredibly beautiful knife in my opinion. I'll start by saying right off rip that my favorite part about this knife is going to be these Bourbon Bone covers. I think they're just really well executed, and I'll say that if there's one thing Rosecraft Blades does exceptionally well, it's the dye job on their bone covers. They're always packed wall to wall with color, really consistent look and feel to them. There's obviously some natural variations in the bone, but the dye job itself is very consistent. So if we go look from show side to pal side, slightly different, but they have the same look and feel to them, and I find that across the entire Rosecraft Blades line that they do a really good job of packing that color in, which gives them that rich, vibrant look that they have. And so that's also one thing I really like about this particular model. I picked this one up. This was a first Rosecraft slip joint that I picked up, but I did pick it up at the same time as a Loosahatchee Jack. And those are pretty similar models. They're both based off of Barlows. They both take their liberties, this one with the blade shape, the Loosahatchee with the sizing on that bolster, but both are probably still Barlows at this point. And the main difference outside of that is that the Loosahatchee has this etched pattern up a majority of the covers, and for me that really hides the natural beauty of these dyed covers, and so really prefer these covers over those, even though I think those ones look pretty cool as well. Now, this model runs for $55, really affordable and in line with the rest of their slip joint lineup. They are made in China, however the quality that they're putting out is extremely impressive. I'd say it's on par with Case when you get a good case, but in terms of consistency, they are more consistent in terms of fit and finish, at least in my experience so far. Have 6 of these, 4 out of the 6 are flawless in fit and finish, to the point where I can't find a single nitpick on them, and this is one of those models. Now the other 2, one of those was a second, and so can't really hold that against it since they did pull it out of the lineup and sell it as a second since it didn't meet their quality control standards. So I don't know if they're coming off the line with this impressive fit and finish, or that Rosecraft is just extremely tedious in their quality control and really picky. But either way, they are very consistent in what you're getting. And so for me, it's been more consistent than what I've gotten from Case. And I have a similar number of Case as I do Rosecraft Blades. I think a little more Case, but pretty similar sample size. So with that being said, let's dive into the fit and finish. Kind of buried the lead there, but this has really excellent covers. Already mentioned the dye job is very consistent, really well matched covers, similar look and feel to those. No cracking in that bone near those pins. It is nickel silver pins, and those are completely flush with the bone. In fact, the entire transition from bone to pin and back and then bone to bolster is seamless. Now you do feel that obviously fluted bolster, but that's obviously an intentional choice. Same thing on the pal side, nothing of note there. We do have this belt satin bolster that looks really good. If you are picking up some of those scratches near the top, those were not there when I got it. I've dropped this one a couple times or just rubbed it up against stuff, and so I have a couple minor scratches there, nothing too major. You will notice a RC etch on there, and so I think as far as like a logo goes, I think that looks pretty cool. I'm not a huge fan of the etch on the bolster, to be honest. I would prefer it to either be stamped or not exist at all. I know Tim over at Tim's School of Fish got a 1-off without that etch, and for me that's a perfect version of this knife. Now it's not taking away that much, to be honest. I still rank this as one of my favorite Rosecraft knives and one of my favorite even knives of 2023. I don't have a definitive list, but it's probably in the top 10 there, and so really not taking away all that much, but I would prefer it just not be there. It kind of cheapens the look to me. Now, flipping over to those springs, we do have steel liners on here and seamless transition from liner to spring. No significant gapping anywhere on this knife, including between the liners and the covers. And so all really well done. Last thing for fit and finish is our blade centering, and you can see right down the middle. And so really well done and executed. 3.5 inches in this closed position and weighs in at 2.9 ounces, so not extremely heavy either. As far as deployment on here, we have a nail nick and it's also pinchable, so up to you how you open that. Either way, has a really nice feel, nice walk and talk on here. It's heavier without being off-puttingly heavy. I like a heavy pull, but some people don't, and so I think this kind of fits in that Goldilocks zone where a lot of people are really going to like the pull on this. I'd say 6 to 6.5. Does have a half stop here, as well as obviously fully deployed, and the walk and talk on that's excellent. Really nice acoustics on here, super snappy. And so love everything about that. Now as far as the blade shape on here, we're straying from our typical Barlow. Obviously usually Barlows are 2-bladed, but I love a single bladed Barlow, and in this case they swapped out that clip point blade for a Sheepsfoot blade. Really nice trade-off for me because I don't have a lot of Sheepsfoot in my Barlows, and so I like seeing that kind of thing. Obviously love the clip point blades as well, but I really like the blade shape on here. D2 steel, so it is going to be a stainless. They do have that swedge near the tip here. Could take it or leave it, but don't mind it being there either. Rosecraft blades etching on the tang here. Would prefer a stamp again, but obviously a lot of people are moving away from that, including Case, which is unfortunate, but don't mind it so much. Now here on the PAL side we have D2 steel RCT006, so I suppose this was the 6th slip joint in the lineup, and then of course the maker's mark. Andy Armstrong has one of the cooler maker marks, I think. I like that A with made out of bones. Looks really, really good. Now in terms of feel, this feels like a Barlow, so you know what it feels like. I can get all 4 fingers on there. It is a little bit tight, but comfortable, and that kick acts as a nice kind of finger guard there. So really nice in use as well. And so overall, you know, without a lot to nitpick, it does keep these videos a little bit shorter, but I really love this knife. Like I said, it's probably in my top 10 new knives of 2023, so I picked up a lot. That's definitely saying something. So would love to hear your thoughts though down in the comments. Is this one that you're into? Do you not dig it so much? And any other thoughts that you might have on it. But appreciate you checking it out. If you enjoyed the video, consider liking, commenting, subscribing, hitting that notification button, and as always, hope you have a great one. Take care.